So me and Sarah want to test our preparedness and make sure we're not missing any holes anywhere. So we made a list of 24 different scenarios ranging from a broken water pipe, an appliance not working and needing replaced, to people breaking in, kidnappings, stuff that's not likely to happen, and everything in between. So then we made this list of 24 things. And then I use a random number generator and a random date generator on the internet. And I'm going to pick a date and a number from that list. And then we're going to go through that scenario and figure out on that date randomly. So nobody but me will know what's going on or know this in advance. We're going to go through that scenario and talk about it with every member of the family and see where any holes are or anything. Good afternoon, exiles. So me and Sarah wanted to make sure there's no holes in our preps and nothing that we're missing and didn't plan for. So we came up with 24 scenarios that range from things that are likely and commonplace to happen, like losing a job, an appliance breaking, broken water pipe, stuff like that, clear up to like somebody breaking into the house, a kidnapping, larger natural disasters, everything in between. As big a variety as we could. 24 different things, and I'm going to put that list in the description. And then what we're going to do is use a random number generator and a random date generator to pick what date and which one we're doing at random, so nobody in the family but me will know. And I'll put it on my calendar, and chances are I'm going to forget. Especially since I'm going to build these out for the rest of the year and have them in the calendar so they'll just pop up. There's no way I'm going to remember what they all are that's coming up. And then I want to start doing this with my preparedness group and having them go through these scenarios when they pop up and coming up and fixing the holes in them. And I'll probably put one of the people in the group in charge of doing this. That way we have more group participation in different things. And also, it'll better leadership. I want to distribute as much responsibility to other people as I can and try to get people to start to being responsible for their different areas themselves too. So, with that being said, the first thing we're going to do is somebody breaking into the house while we're home. And most break-ins actually happen during the day when nobody's home. But Sarah works from home, and the kids are homeschooled, and then I come home in the evening or at night after work, so almost all the time somebody's home. So I'm kind of glad the break-in when somebody's home came up first, and also that's a pretty extreme one, so maybe that'll get the kids thinking and stuff better, and thinking about more of this kind of stuff. So if somebody breaks into the house while we're all home, we do have some automatic lights in a couple places of the house. We need to get more automatic lights to light up. That way the house is well lit. We also need to talk about getting a security system, but at least for the meanwhile, get a little alarms that go on the doors and all the windows that when they open, they beep at us. That'll help out a lot, especially for home. It's not as good as an alarm system, but at least it'll give us a heads up something's going on. And then me and Sarah both have pistols on each side of our bed. And mine has a flashlight built into it, but hers does not. So that's something we need to do, is get her a flashlight. We are going to upgrade her from the Kel-Tec that sits on her side of the bed to a Glock 26 like this one. But because they use interchangeable magazines, this is a much nicer gun than that Kel-Tec PF9. Easier to shoot. We also need to upgrade this one and the one we get her to night sights. Also, because you don't want to use the flashlight on the gun to look for things, because then you're pointing the gun at whoever you're looking at. So I carry a flashlight in my right pocket, which is handy when I'm walking around, but doesn't do anything at night. So we need to get a nice, powerful flashlight on each side of the bed as well. So those are some things we need to improve. That's all I can think of to improve. So I'm gonna pause the video and go grab Sarah, and the two of us can run through this and see what she thinks we can do and what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Okay, her chair's a lot taller than mine. She's not actually taller than me.
No, I'm not.
It's fine, you don't have to adjust it. So
I think this is the lowest it goes anyway.
So what if somebody broke in the house? What good things are we doing to prevent that, and what things can we add to prevent that, help keep that from happening? Oh, also, Sarah is really good at locking and deadbolting the doors before she goes to bed. So I'm really glad she does that.
We always have the windows locked, but our windows are, with the exception of the kitchen window above the sink, are about 1.5 feet off the ground.
Okay.
So they're all very easily accessible, which is good if you've locked your keys out of the house, bad if you're having somebody break in.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, besides alarms...
what do you think about that window tent film to go over the... It's both... goes over the window tent, or goes over the window as tent, but it also helps protect the window to keep it from getting busted as easily.
That sounds like a...
We already bought that to put on the living room windows.
Yeah.
So that'll save us on cooling and heating, or mostly cooling the house with those, and it'll make it harder to break through the window.
Yep.
What about if we plant some nastier, thornier plants?
That sounds like a good idea, too.
The problem, if we do that, we need to practice with what we do in case of a fire.
Oh,
because you'll have to throw a blanket over the thorny plant when you crawl out the window. Any other ideas before you gotta go back to work?
Nope, that sounds like everything I can think of off the top of my head.
Alright, so we'll make a list, and then I'll go get the boys, and we'll talk to the boys about this.
Okay.
Okay, so Thomas, we're discussing what we would do if somebody broke into the house. So you got anything you want to add or anything? Anything you can think of? So what we've talked about so far is like maybe getting a security alarm. Till we get a security alarm, adding some cheap alarms around the house, and adding some lights so if somebody breaks in they can see, and adding some stuff to the window to make it harder to break the windows, and maybe putting some pokey plants underneath the windows. What if, this is something, what if we got pepper spray, the big giant cans are like the size of a hairspray, to keep in you and Daniel's room. So if somebody broke in, you could pepper spray them? Do you like that idea?
Mm-hmm. What about motion detection lights outside at the four corners of the house?
Yeah, Sarah just suggested from the other side of the curtain some motion detector lights outside the house. They make some cheap solar motion detector lights now we can throw up there. So, and also a can of pepper spray in each of the kids' room. One of these big cans of pepper spray by each door. So if somebody's trying to break in the door, you can grab that thing and hose them down with it. And then maybe a can on each side of the bed for me and Sarah. You got any other ideas? I guess not.
Door.
Go ahead.
Door handles with locks.
Oh, and for your bedrooms?
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad idea. Door handles with locks so they can lock themselves in their bedroom. So that's... Let me know if you think of anything else. I'm going to go see if I can get the teenager to wake up and him participate in this. So the teenager liked all the ideas we have so far. But he's a teenager. He didn't want to be in the video. And that's perfectly fine. No big deal. As long as he wants to participate in the conversation. Because this is a whole family conversation thing. But I mentioned that we keep the pistols beside the bed. The reason we don't have the ARs is because, like, right now the bed's behind me, and the rest of the house, including the kids' bedrooms, are over there. So if we use the AR, any round that misses or over penetrates is going into the kid's bedroom. So the pistols with expanding ammunition that doesn't overpenetrate well is our best choice. So we're going to write down all the things we came up with in this video between the four of us and make a list of priorities and figure out which ones we can start implementing when and which ones are the most important and start getting them put in. Like putting in some more motion detector lights. We own the motion detector lights for the inside. We can get that done pretty quick. And we can order the $20, $30 outside lights off of Amazon. Just start ordering one a week and get those up pretty quick. So I hope you guys discuss this with your family. I hope you look at the list in the description and on my website. And I hope this helps people. And that's about all I have for today's video. Remember, we, his people, will start to rebuild.